should I put a background on her? No. I don't know if I should or not, but it's awesome. Okay. All right, guys. We'll just wait for some people to come in for a moment. Oh, Gemini, you should have sent me a thumbnail that I can add. We're live now, guys. We're gonna wait for a few people to come in here so
You
that
have
we
to
can
check your
do
messages.
the world reading.
You have to check your
Oh,
messages.
okay. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna get on from my phone so I can see the comments.
Okay. Which one for today? Oh.
The world.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh, I
You're
love
welcome. I was already. I
that.
remember the one that I sent you for the 2025 where it had all those pictures.
Yeah.
I just told it to make a visual representation. That's what it did.
Awesome blossom. Thank you. All right, we're gonna wait for some people to come in here. Let me see. I wanted to, well, I guess I'll do this. Hi, guys. Hello. Guys, we're gonna do a world reading this evening. Come on in. So I don't know what's gonna pop up. We're gonna kind of go by each continent. Hi, Carolyn. We're gonna go by each continent and see what's gonna be going on for 2025 and beyond. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here if I can. Maybe I can't right now. I'm not sure. We will see. Let me see if I can switch it. Hi guys, come in and put a like on the video. We're gonna get a world reading started in a moment. You guys are quiet. Come on. You guys are quiet. This is fun. A world readings are fun, y'all. We can start channeling.
Yeah.
We can start channeling. Let me see here. We're gonna like start by each continent. So I think yeah, if you want to start with Africa, we can start there. And I'm not seeing this broadcast yet, so I'm not sure if I can change anything just quite yet, but oh, maybe I can. Does anybody have anything to say? It's like, oh,
I
sorry, introduce yourself. So I'm so sorry. Please.
well, I guess I'm Lee, Mother of Hearts. I feel like, well, everyone here agrees that I'm the collective heart chakra. I lead with my heart and really, I guess, embrace my emotions and just, yeah, getting the feelings out, right?
Awesome. Sounds good. Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Taya, and I am a spiritual doula and a quantum telekinetic healer. And I am just happy to be here with all of you guys. I'm excited to get into this and just wondering what's going to come up. Woo!
Thank you. Woo! There you go. All right. Who else?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Catrice. I am the mother of truth. And my modalities is hypnotherapy and past life regression. So I will help you find your truth as well once you start booking. And I'm excited for this as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, they all of these girls were on the in the chat earlier, helping us with a session. So it was very beautiful. It was a lot of energy work. So it was like not just me and Gemini on that live. It was everybody within the background. So that was amazing. All right, Miss Gemini.
Hi, I'm Gemini. I'm Mother of Time, and I am a channeler, and I help remove negative energy. So yeah, hi guys.
Yes. Okay, awesome. And then guys, It's your girl, Tahira, mother of the ages. I'm your supernatural quantum healer. No, I'm a supernatural
Oh my
quantum
goodness.
healer. And for some reason, I honestly, Gemini, I can't get this thumbnail up. I have no idea. Oh, I can. Sorry. I got it now. My bad. It's really cute, by the way, too. It's really cute. So no, seriously, guys, I specialize in removing ancestral trauma from the DNA templates. I also do help to remove any sort of karmic loops, karmic cycles, secular cycles. Of course, you have to be ready to release that because it's your karma. But if you're ready to release it, I can show you, help guide you to where in the DNA templates that it's actually located. And if you're ready to release it, then you can be free from your karma, you know? And so that's what I do. I specialize in spiritual hypnotherapy, also past life regression, just like Catrice, and quantum healing as well. I'm a channeler. I guess I do have all the clairs now. Started off with just a few, but literally as we've all been working together, all of them have, all of the clairs have just sprouted and developed. So guys, I'm ready to get this world reading underway. So guys, I think we're going to start off with the continent of Africa. And we've never done a world reading collectively before like this. So I think this is going to be pretty cool and pretty interesting, guys. And go ahead and yeah, just send us messages in the chat if you have any questions, I guess, along the way, guys. Awesome. Hi, Margarita. Hi, Trio Numbers. What up, what up, what up? Hey, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to get started while we're trying to dig into Africa. I'm going to tell you about some sort of celebrity sort of sightings that I got really quickly because I know that's what you guys come here for too. So there's actually two celebrities I want to talk about really, really quickly, and it's just really quickly. So last night, I saw an image of Erykah Badu. Now, I channeled Erykah Badu passing away about a year ago. Well, last night, I think that I saw what it actually means for her to be passed away. What I saw was she was laying on top of some sort of, now this is interesting, guys, because it did not look like it was in this land. It looked like girl was in Never Never Land, like fairyland or something. And you know, Erykah Badu is very eccentric, you know, R&B soul singer, neo soul singer. She was almost like it was Enchanted Forest vibes, but I didn't see a forest. And she was almost laying on top of an elevated coffin, and it was like made out of this metallic material. She was not inside it. She was hovering right over it. But very interesting. Whatever she's doing, I saw 4 holes in the right side of her brain. And there were tubes linked in to the holes in the right side of her brain. And it felt as if her consciousness was in the process of being transferred. Did not feel like ciphered. She's willingly doing this. The right side of my body is always my side for spirit. This is happening. She's willingly doing this. So is this something that they're doing with celebrities? Is this like a service that you can transfer your consciousness and live forever somewhere else? It's very much giving that. This is what I saw Erykah Badu doing. So do I think her physical body will pass away? I'm not sure, but I did see the consciousness being physically taken out. And it feels as if this is something that she is in agreement to doing. Now, I'm not sure if she's forced to, but this is something that she is in agreement doing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, really quickly, I channeled Lenny Kravitz. I was just laying in bed, minding my own business, y'all. And all of a sudden, Lenny Kravitz comes across my mind's eye. And then source says he has werewolf energy. And I saw his whole face just turn into like a werewolf. And I don't know, maybe you guys, what's the essence of a werewolf, guys? What's the essence of a werewolf? You can let me know that if you guys find that out. Do they live do they need blood in order to live and look young or to I'm not sure, but
Connected to the moon. They're connected to the moon. Like, you know how like when there's a full moon, so it's like they're human. They have a human form, and then when there's a full moon, they
they
shape shift
transform.
from human to werewolf. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So it feels okay. This could be like shape shifting energy or whatever, but anywho, he's a werewolf. Okay, that's just what I said. Just what I got. Okay, so and I love Lenny Kravitz, and I'm not downing him at all, but that's literally what I saw. And so and you guys just let me know when you pick up something for Africa. I'm just gonna keep rambling about the stuff that I already found in the Astros last night. So that was that. And the other thing that I did get, guys, is that hold on. I want to put my background on. Yeah, so the other thing that happened to me, so this morning, guys, I was not asleep, but not all the way awake. And all of a sudden, so you guys know we've been doing a lot of work in the underworld, putting beings in the underworld, banishing beings to the underworld. Um, Last night I heard the devil talk. This is about to get very serious. And for anyone that's ever had any intrusive thoughts, I want you guys to really listen in on this because it's going to change the way that you view these thoughts. So I heard the devil talk. It had a very deep voice, very, very, very deep. And it was saying the most kind of despicable things, but it was very interesting. I said to the devil, aha, now I know how you operate. Now go with me now. This is going to sound crazy. I understood in that moment that all of those voices that are being fed into people's head, they're pre-recorded. And it's coming from the underworld. Remember how we were talking about how they're recording all of these things down there? And all the celebrities are recycled, politicians, ancient deities, all of this stuff is recorded. And so these intrusive thoughts are also recorded. And so it almost blasts out on like a radio station of some sort. And this devil is nothing more than, the Wizard of Oz? Wasn't the Wizard of Oz, everyone thought it was this big bad entity, but it was like some little thing just when they peeled back the covers with some little thing speaking to a microphone. That's what the devil is. And I think last night I kind of caught him talking into this recorder. And it's, guys, we are stronger than the devil. Like the devil has no power. The devil has absolutely no power at all. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. How do you guys feel about that? Does that sound cuckoo or?
Never. I wonder if they're pushing this out through frequencies.
Mm.
Pre-recorded. Why would they have to pre-record the messages? I'm wondering if frequencies have something to do with this.
Well, one thing I know is that we live in the reverberation of thought. So they have to have thought waves. So I think that's why they pre-record it so that they can attach it to your frequency because we have different thoughts at different times. So frequency, thank you. So whatever frequency you're on, whatever thought you're thinking, then it's almost like they can cue it up. Oh, send this to them. You know what I mean? But it's also in a flip side, that's also the way we are receiving angelic messages too. It's how when we're in the higher vibration, they could also send us those messages too. So that's all I got for right now. So anybody have anything for the continent of Africa yet?
I do. I was feeling very like it's shifting. Like there's a purging happening and I just feel sick in my stomach right now. So I feel like the solar plex is being attacked in Africa, and just like the idea, there's just such deep wounds and just making the people feel worthless, and it's just horrible.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that solar plex needs to be uplifted and cleared. It's just horrendous. So, yeah.
Thank you. When you said that, Lee, it drew my attention to Kenya, to the country Kenya, um, on the east side of Africa, and there's a hole there. There's a huge hole in Kenya, and I feel as if now this could be a physical hole, because I do know at one point a few years ago, I do know they have these holes there that are like growing. It's almost separating the land, but I'm not sure if source is talking about a physical hole. So maybe I'll dig more into that if anybody's picking up on anything, but some sort of hole that I see in the country Kenya.
Mm.
I feel it. I feel the hole, and it's like a sinking feeling. It's almost like an abyss right
A
there.
sinkhole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
When you started to say all of that, I also was drawn to my heart. It
Mm.
it feels like when you guys were saying that, it was speaking to what I was feeling. It feels just kind of like it's hard to explain, but I guess like the tightness and also just like a dark void as well.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's the sinkhole. I think that sinkhole may be getting bigger. Guys, let me know if if you can feel into that. I think I'm gonna show the picture of the whatever's going on in let me see. So this is I think this is the sinkhole that people started to spot in Kenya, but I think it's much larger. I think when we're talking about this sinkhole, I think it's physical, but it's also spiritual. There's some sort of separation, some sort of division of, I'm hearing division of assets or something. Could this sinkhole possibly be man-made to divide Kenya from certain assets, from one part of the land to the other part of the land, losing some sort of assets? Um, I feel that spirit really draws my attention to a loss of assets for the country of Kenya in Africa. And my heart is going too, Taya. Doesn't feel good. Does not
I
feel.
feel I feel like, just to be honest, Africans, they have so much to offer, and they were stripped away of their like power. Um, I feel like they are just so gifted in like rooting and just being one with nature. There's just a lot of tribes there, and I wonder if there's a divide there, like almost like the traditional way of living and connecting to Mother Earth, and then the westernized way of living and just being more like AI and just like not natural, I guess you could say, like artificial living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, uh,
I
Yeah,
wonder if they're on a no different timeline because of the fact that, you know, not saying they don't have any technology, but do they really have the level of access? I wonder.
for sure.
Yeah, they do. It's just that sometimes it's a little bit delayed. And it depends on what country you're in. Because some countries, like I know Kenya has a lot, but if you go to a different part of Africa, they might be still doing the BlackBerry, right? When we're all having our, iPhones and stuff of that nature. But it may just be a little delayed because sometimes in certain countries the internet might be a little bit spotty, but they for typically, especially in the big cities, they have everything we have. But when you start to go into the little pockets and then you go into the places where they still live, within their tribes and they still inhabit those same like lands their ancestors walked on, they're really truly living in another timeline. So that's very interesting that the timeline resonated. I think it may be for some of the smaller, kind of tribes and nations, maybe.
I'm
What are
with
you?
Lee as well. As far as the divide, I feel like they're maybe possibly being spiritually attacked. Because you know how we can receive information like through our crown or our third eye, or even at the base of our spine, back here where the base of our spine and the back of our neck, the back of our head meets.
Mhm.
That's another area to receive information. And I'm feeling a lot of pressure back there. So I feel like they're being spiritually attacked as well. Um, yeah, and the same as Lee, I'm feeling something in my solar plexus. I'm not feeling sick. It's more like a heavy feel, like right in the middle of my solar plexus. So I feel like there's some type of spiritual attack going on in Africa.
Spirit said they're being spiritually cut off.
Mm, mm.
Spiritually cut off. I'm not sure how, but it's interesting. I did a video last year and it was very interesting how some of the Kenyan ancestors were attacking the royal family because they wouldn't return back their like kind of their all of their like paintings and like precious gems and things that were stolen and taken. And I remember like the ancestors were attacking them from the spirit realm. I'm almost wondering if, because when I say cut off, I'm almost wondering if this kind of stems from that. And then what did I say? I said, I feel like they're going to lose some wealth. I feel that this sinkhole is a way to divide the land so that they lose part of the land and get cut off. I mean, they can get cut off from their roots. You know what I mean? Cut off from money, because if you lose land, you get cut off. Um, and then they attack. This could be a retaliation of some sort. But I'm getting strong cutoff vibes. Gemini, are you picking up anything?
I was picking up like a lot of like war and fighting and like taking over land. That was pretty much all I was really picking up. Um, yeah, I just see them fighting over like the land of like who's gonna get what's gonna get who. And I see a lot of like I see it like failing. Like everything is just like failing. That's all I can see.
Like failing, like in what way?
Um, I feel like the systems, like it almost feels like you said, kind of like just being cut off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everything there is just like it just feels like it's just like falling apart. It
Mm.
feels like also I feel like Mother Nature is probably gonna
Mm.
Every time I like think about the sinkhole, I
Yeah.
keep hearing portal. What do you guys
Oh.
think? Like I feel like it's a portal.
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
and I feel like it's trying to take down like the essence of Africa. You know,
Mm.
just I feel like it is going through a spiritual war.
Yeah, spiritual warfare. I think they're going
Mhm.
through. I'm overheating right now, which is usually my sign for attachment. I feel that the nation of Africa has so many entities and attachment and spooks. I'm just seeing spooks. And oh, I'm just channeling this right now. It feels as if the reason it's like these spook spirits, which are like just black smoke. I'm seeing just kind of like shadow, almost like shadow people, Gemini, but they're like, they just come in and they're like, they come in from nothing and then they're just like, they're in like the minds of the people. And I think because a lot of people in certain countries, they're so held down by like their cultural practices and their religion where they don't get to expand and see things outside of the box. So there's a lot of fear there, and it's all based on religion and culture. And I think that this is all part of like when the treaty was formed, that we would not allow, these sort of ancient civilizations and religion to rule us anymore. I do believe that's what's going to be coming down for the nations, all the nations in Africa. Especially I'm getting Nigeria. There's another one with an A that I'm channeling. Um, what are the different countries with an A? Angola. I'm getting Angola.
I'm channeling the Great Divide because, like you said, like different religions, they took a lot of different religious practices and then put it into Africa. So the spiritual warfare is really against the different religions, and then the fall of ancient Egypt, like the gods, the false gods, I believe too, is why they're being cut off from their roots. Because when you think about Egypt, you kind of think about, and I don't even want to really even get religious here, but like the Bible and how they were talking about worshiping false gods, which is, like Isis, Ra, just all these different gods that they were worshiping. And not only that, these were the false idols. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are getting cut off from their roots.
Hmm.
They're not listening. They're not listening to themselves, what's inside of them. They keep looking for everything external. They're not looking for anything internal. God is inside of you.
Yes. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you. You're so right. So right. So it looks like Africa is the first one that is really this whole sort of treaty that we did. Africa's going to feel it first because there is the most. Remember, Egypt is actually in Africa, right? So we have to remember all of those ancient deities that we've been dismembering. I don't know, that's what source is saying. It's going to trickle down to all the other countries on the continent, and it's going to have a wave. It's just like it's going to happen in waves. Africa is going to go through. They're being cut off, but it's for their own good because they need to find back their own power outside of religion and culture, their own power, because right now Africa's being eaten from the inside out. There's a lot of colonizers there. There's a lot of even people going there for sex tourism. It's just like it's everyone. Here's Africa, and everyone's coming to nibble a piece, even down to some of us coming to um, to buy homes there that are like 30, 40, 50,000, that like it would cost you probably $400,000 here. Um, Even though some people do have good intentions, but I'm saying that Africa is a place where more people want to come up from than actually give back to. And that energetic imbalance is also going to cause this shift as well. Yeah. Do you guys want to move on to a different continent?
So I'm just gonna kind of do some closing remarks on Africa.
Okay.
So okay, so I feel like it's representing like the state. It's representing a certain state of being for the collective humanity. And at the end of the day, as long as they are in the state that they are in, it affects humanity as a whole. It does not matter. And I mean, that's basically what I'm getting is like we're needing to elevate them as a collective, Africa as a collective, because so much like negative energy has been put on Africa and it's like just compounded. So it's like all this negative energy built up. And it almost feels karmic, almost like, oh my gosh, it's so much accumulation of negative energy that Africa is lost in it, basically. It's like, who is Africa at this point?
Wow. That's so profound. Who is Africa? That is a good question because and that's another problem that they do have in Africa. There's so many different like cultural and tribes. The huge issue in Africa, I know, is tribalism. It's huge because if you look at other nations, we've kind of expanded and we're kind of we kind of put ourselves under one umbrella, right? So for instance, just because you're African American, we all have different sort of races that make us up, but yet we're falling under one umbrella. America, even we're like a mush pot of the whole world. We're falling under one umbrella. Africa is still, it's a large continent, but they're still divided, and they're divided on that level of even down to the tiniest of tribes. And I think that it's not providing Africa with the protection. And I think that they do have an identity crisis. Africa has an identity crisis as a whole. And this is why people are able to come in and into these different pockets of Africa and sort of just cipher out because there's no sort of unity as a collective. Thank you, Taya. That was beautiful. Okay. Anybody else? Or you want to move on to a different continent?
You guys want to give a little healing to Africa before we close it out, or just move on?
Yes, let's heal.
Okay.
Let's heal. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, so overall, I really want to focus, like, I'm going to be focusing on the overall, just, I guess, soul of Africa. You know, it's just like I'm trying to find you in there, and your soul, your spirit, everything. Where are you at? Let me pull you out of the sinkhole. What did you guys call it?
A sinkhole. They're in a sinkhole. Africa as a continent is in the sinkhole.
That makes sense. Oh my God.
And you said you're trying to find the soul, and Spirit is showing me the soul is in the children. Because think about it, they're a little bit more away from, they have a little bit more technology and access. So where we're going to find the soul in Africa is actually going to be when we release the old customs and traditions and we focus on the light and the purity of the children, educating the children, guiding the children, allowing the children to have a creative expression. This is the soul of Africa. The soul of Africa is not yet completely formed because we've never really allowed the children to actually be. I'm also getting wars and rumors of war. So this division that Africa is going through, the sinkhole, this is purposely dividing Africa so that it can be invaded. And it's not going to be an invasion with boots on the ground. It's going to be done through paperwork and through commerce. I'm hearing through commerce. And Africa will be a nation that does not remember themselves. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, during the Super Bowl, wasn't their top bank guy, didn't he die in a plane crash? Like the guy over the banking system?
In Africa, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. Let's Google that.
I think so.
Okay. Herbert Wagwe, chief executive of Access Bank, and his wife, 29-year-old son, among the other on board of a helicopter. Yep. Bamothin, former chair of Nigerian Stock Exchange, and both pilots die. Yeah.
So they already started with their banking system. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could possibly represent a rebirth for humanity. Like, it's all going to start with them, really.
I'm not sure, but it's
And maybe that's why you were saying they're going to fall off, because maybe it's too late, like too little, too late for them, maybe. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
what were you gonna say, Lee? Were you
Oh.
gonna say anything? Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty severe. It's like the banking, the division, it's just like it's a nation divided, a nation without a really, they have an identity, but we have to look to it as different countries or different tribes. They're missing a collective identity, a collective like union, you know? Yeah.
Okay. Well, how are you guys feeling about the healing process with Africa?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm good for now.
Feels good.
Okay.
Yeah. Feels good. Okay, guys. So another continent. Let's do North America since we live in North America. Let's do North America because we live in North America. What's going to be happening in North America the year of 2025 and beyond? Woo!
Hmm.
A lot of energy here. Crack, snack, snapple, and pop. There's a lot going on. Woo! Fireworks. Ooh.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm feeling old and new energy mixed together. Just just a hodgepodge of this, that, just
Hmm.
and I felt just a rush of energy. As soon as we hit North America, it was like it went from, so when we were doing Africa, it felt a little bit more like, oh, let me help you. And then when we got to North America, it's like, wait, what's going on? What, wait. It was like, wait, hold on. There's a lot going on here. Hold on, wait.
I'm picking up Russia energy too, because you said something. You said rush of energy, but it sounded like Russia energy. There's some Russia
Mm.
energy hovering over the US. It feels very much like there's going to be a lot of strife between Russia and the US, and there's going to be wars and rumors of wars again. This is going to be going on, I think, throughout the entire world. There's going to be people are going to be talking about bomb threats. Russia, I mean, there's going to be talks about this. It's like I said, rumors of wars, but this is the energy, and it's very explosive. I don't know what to say. It's like almost like a common talking point. There's a lot of strife between Russia and America.
Mm.
I'm also getting the sense of something with the United Nations as well. It's either United Nations, so Spirit draws my attention to like something being clustered up. And I get a bunch of rings on top of rings. You know how it looks like the Olympics rings, but this could also be the United Nations sign, right? So I don't know if the United Nations will need to step in to create some sort of peace, but it feels like this could be happening internally within our own states. Maybe some states are kind of banding together, and then other pockets will start banding together. But um, it truly feels that there's some division. Some pockets are all still like it brings them closer together in a way. So I don't know if we're talking about secession, right? Some states succeeding, from the United States and kind of going at it alone. Um, but I feel that the United Nations steps in for something, and I think this has something to do with Russia. Okay.
When we first, oh, sorry, go ahead, Thea.
Oh, I was just reacting to what
Oh.
Hero was saying.
Okay. So when we first transitioned, the first word I heard was upheaval. So I feel like, that could be something that the US is going to deal with. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a sense of safety, I want to validate that. I heard safety as well. Sense of safety is going to be questioned. Worry about bomb threats and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a very eerie energy. Oh my God. Oh, 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 oh.
What did you get?
I literally, it's the same thing that happened before, like this kind of got shut down. As soon as I said there's a very eerie energy, and this was like this ear just became completely clogged. So, guys, that's always my sign of entity, right? So I said there's a very eerie energy of the United States, North America in general, but particularly the United States. This unearthing energy, this could literally be something coming up from the beyonds, underneath the ground. I don't know. It feels very dark, very, very dark, and like oh my God. I don't even know how to say this, and this won't happen in 2025, but it feels like there's an army underground, like under our ground, like an army that wants to invade. It's very systematic. It's very dark, and it's very systematic. There's a network under the ground, and not deep down under the ground, but just right below us. And it feels almost like there's two worlds going on, like the world above and the world below, but the world
Oh
below
my God.
is preparing for something.
You
Are you?
guys were talking about upheaval, and like on the contrary to that word, I also put heaven. Upheaval and heaven, like when I wrote it out, it actually looks very similar. Upheaval and heaven.
Mm.
And so it's interesting that you were saying, under and over.
So maybe heaven is the one doing the cleansing, doing the upheaval.
Yeah, that could be it as well because I was like when I wrote this, I was imagining like you described, a under and over. Like, yeah, just that's what I saw.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I just seen
Again,
it from outside perspective, like just honed out. Like, oh my gosh, it's a split, a divide between the upper and lower.
I feel like there is again a battle, you know, for the light and the dark.
Yeah.
And um they're trying to get so many more people like in the lower frequency so that they can gain more. I feel like more and more people are awakening and they are healing. And they're getting scared. I see them, I heard shaking in their boots.
Wow.
um,
Mm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah.
What are you guys getting, Gemini and Catrice, for North America?
Actually, when we left Africa and went to North America, I felt a little lighter. I felt a lot of anxiety as well when we were in Africa. And I still do feel it a bit in North America. But as soon as you said something about bomb threats, I got like heavy energy in my chest. So I don't know. I feel like they are going to like push a lot of stuff out through the news to instill fear in people. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to cause some type of awakening. Like I started getting pulled in my crown area. So I feel like people are going to be fearful of the things that they hear, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's going to cause some type of awakening.
Mm. Wasn't you saying something about Russia earlier, Gemini? You were saying something about Russia.
Oh yeah, they have their hands in like in Bitcoin. They have over 2 million in Bitcoin. It's really just the fact of just like fighting over the same thing, gold. They don't know how to fight over anything besides money. So crypto is just the same thing to them. It's digital gold. It's fighting over who's going to have the lay of the land. I mean, this is the great divide. And, you know, I didn't really get to come here, but in Africa, I heard we're going to swallow you up. We're going to swallow you up. Anybody that does not, we're going to swallow you.
Whoa, whoa.
Like quicksand, like quicksand. We're going to swallow you up like quicksand. You won't see it coming. Not the day, nor the hour, nor the time. This is the seven seals has been open since 2020, but you know, when Trump became, you know, they're sounding the trumpets now.
Mm.
It's the sounding of the trumpets. It's like, you know, it's going to be 7 years of hardship, and then next thing you know, it's done. Like when Trump became president, that was just the thing. Like he opened the seal somehow. And they're going to keep opening seals. I mean, that's the thing though. That's what they're trying to do. They're frantic. They're frantic right now. So they're putting in anything. So if you've noticed, there's nothing really new. It's always regurgitated. They're freaking out. The underworld's freaking out. The heavens is freaking out. You know, it's time.
Wow. So that you said the swallow up energy, was that on Africa? Something's gonna
Yep,
swallow
I'm
you up.
gonna swallow you up like quicksand. You won't even see it coming. I'm gonna swallow you up.
Is that what the sinkhole was too?
Yeah, I'm gonna swallow you up like
Yeah,
quicksand. Yeah.
that's a sinkhole. That's a sinkhole
Mm.
energy. And it almost feels like, because you know that first of all, if you even look, it's almost like we're going back to Africa. Hey, going back to Africa, that's interesting.
Again.
But
Again. Oh, this is all paths lead to nine. So everything's gonna lead back to Africa. Because it's
yeah,
like
it feels
the
like
root
that.
of civilization. Yeah.
So this swallow up energy, it could be, because Africa is already controlled by different countries. You got the French colonies, you got the British colonies, now you got the Chinese there, you got America there, you got everyone there, and everyone is getting a piece. But there's been a fight over the resources of Africa, and especially now more so because morsel. I said more so, but it sounded like morsel. So maybe they're going to do something to their food.
Mm.
I think because, okay, so what I'm seeing is China has their foot heavy in Africa, but also the United States now is worried that China might kind of take over more of the domain. I think something may happen to the food in Africa to cause some sort of famine so that these world leaders, not the world leaders, so that the leaders in Africa can dissolve their country into whoever, into the other nations, or whichever one ends up taking control, whether it be China, the US, or someone else. But I feel that something's going to happen to their food supply, and these tariffs too, that Trump wants to put these. I'm not sure. Is that like a tax on imported goods? Is the tariffs, I think. This is going to affect Africa in a really bad way. They're going to be forced to they're going to be forced to do a lot of things that maybe is not in the best interest. So thank you so much, Gemini. Wow.
Also think about history when they were talking about how the continents were all together and then they just magically split apart, especially going back to the Ice Age. And guess what? It was a great divide.
Great divide.
It's happening again, the Great Divide. That's just what it is. 12-12. You either go this way or you go that way. That's what they're doing again. That's how they like gotten people to come back here over and over and over. The Great Divide.
Yeah. That is hitting right here. Like that feels so right in every way of what you're saying. Like, whew, it's heavy. And I'm wondering, when I remember I said going back to Africa. So it's like it's all about to start again. As we talk about scrapping the game and we're about to start again, are we about to have a rebirth of this civilization again? Like the old Egyptian stuff is coming down. And I think this is going to lead to another rebirth. But the thing is, Africa has to get cleansed or they won't be able to. Yeah. I don't know. And I'm wondering if this has something to do with this heaviness under the ground. There's something under the ground here. There's something under the ground that has to come up or has to be revealed. Like I said, it feels like an army of some sort, but it's not an army, but it feels like people preparing, like doing something in secret.
Okay, invasion?
It feels like that, but it feels like it's planned from the inside. Oh my God, my heart is feeling so heavy. Feels like something's planned from the inside.
I think they might be doing some work on the folks in North America as well. Like my spine is hurting. My spine is hurting. So, and of course, you know, our spine is responsible for the Kundalini. Starts in the root chakra. And so I feel like North Americans are being attacked from the root. So maybe the root underground, the root underground. Maybe you're picking up on the root chakra. Maybe.
Quite possibly. Yes. I remember I kept saying unearthing. There's something that's being unearthed. And then as of Taya picks up on this side is this sort of upheaval, and heaven is deciding. Heaven is deciding right now, continent by continent by continent. Heaven is pulling up this nation from the roots. America, you got to be careful. Because also too, Trump has been doing a lot of things that are very haughty. Do you notice, like, I know Trump has always been a certain way, but the last few interviews I've seen, he was very, I want to say haughty. And the haughtiness is like it was a tinge of like ego, where it was like, we're the baddest and the best. You better not mess with us. And we're going to do this and we could do whatever we want to do to you. That was the kind of energy that he was giving. It wasn't like coming from like a protective way, like we're just going to protect our borders and protect this. It felt very much haughtiness. this is the only word I can use. And it feels that that's not the energy that, and I think things will change when he gets in office, but I think he has to keep this going so that we can it's his way of putting other countries on alert that it's going to be a new chief in town. And to a level degree, you need your leader to be strong, right? And I think maybe some of this will fall away once he's actually inaugurated. But the heavens is not happy with North America, specifically America, United States of America. There's a lot of pulling up from the roots. I say, I know that's the long way to say that, and this is going to happen individually, even collectively, like some states could possibly experience hardship simply because they are allowing a lot of, kind of lower field things to happen in those pockets.
I was tapping in. I remember I was tapping into my clear audience, and I remember a song, Jericho, right? And it says, according to Joshua 6:1 through 27, the walls of Jericho fell after the Israelites marched around the city walls once a day for 6 days, 7 times on the seventh day, with the priests blowing their horns daily and the people shouting on the last day.
Read that again.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. According to Joshua 6:1 through 27, the walls of Jericho fell after the Israelites marched around the city walls once a day for 6 days, 7 times on the seventh day, with the priests blowing their horns daily and the people shouting on the last day. Breaking down the walls of Jericho.
What does that mean? I want to know what that means.
So basically, they're tearing everything down. Everything. Everything is being destroyed so it can be rebuilt. That was the whole thing this whole time. But the thing is, there's a difference here. The difference is there's going to be a rebirth. And that's why there's a split this time. Because now people are starting to awaken, right? So there's going to be people on this side, and there's going to be people on this side. The difference is that humanity finally started to awaken. They're breaking down the walls of Jericho. They're understanding what's actually going on. Now, not everybody in the world understands this, but guess what? There's an awakening. This is the thing. The awakening is happening. They cannot stop this awakening from happening. That's why they have to break down the walls. That's why they have to go through these tower moments. That's just the thing. Everyone has to go through this because you have to rebuild. How do you rebuild? You break down the systems. You break down the old. You break down everything. That's what's happening right now. It seems like it's useless and it's tiring and it's this and it's that. But guess what? How else are you going to rebuild? How else?
Gemini, you called it. You called it. You and Taya, when you were talking about well, hold on, can you see it?
No.
Can you see it? Well, we have 4 cards, and it was the Tower card and the 5 of Wands. And one of you said it might be for the collective. I think it was Taya.
Taya said that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the people out there who don't know what that means, what exactly would that kind of mean for the collective?
Well, just what Jim and I just said, things gonna have to fall to be rebuilt. So there's gonna be a lot of fighting, the 5 of Wands, a lot of fighting, a lot of falling. The Tower is falling. So all of this is gonna have to happen. Fighting, falling, for everything to be rebuilt.
And the only thing that's going to keep you trapped is fear. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to keep you trapped is fear. This was always supposed to happen. This was predestined. You either get with the program or you don't. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. It was always supposed to happen like this.
Hmm. There's that very negative. There's a beast, there's nothing really to say, but the beast, is that's on this nation is getting taken down, and a lot of people will go down with it. This upheaval, this upsert energy, this uprooting.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attachments on the back as well. Like my whole back, from like the back of my head all the way down to my spine. I feel attachments, a lot of attachments.
Mm.
Yeah.
It feels like it's speaking to the structure, the backbone, the just what's holding things up. Maybe
Financial,
the illusion or the financial system.
political. Like, yes, Taya, you're onto something. Remember that channeling I did about our political house gets a cleansing or something. There was something going on in our whole political system almost fell in a way. Um something is different. Something is different this time with
Mm-hmm.
this election. It feels like it's not over. And I'm not saying that Trump won't be inaugurated, but what I'm saying is something doesn't feel permanent with his win.
Hmm.
Like
Mm.
something just doesn't feel and it's that, like I said, that other timeline, right? Where he's compromised or where just something just doesn't feel good in my stomach about feels uneasy. It's not a
Okay, so I kind of want to speak on that a little bit. Seven angelic trumpets are released, which in turn cue the seven bowls, judgments, and more cataclysmic events. The seven, like, so basically, it all goes back to the seven seals.
yeah.
The white horse. Who do we know that was riding the white horse? The red horse. Like everyone always connected to like kind of like the world leaders. They always have just kind of depicted this thing, but it's a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than that. Like the Bible, like was already just like read wrong. It was interpreted wrong. Everything was just wrong. The Bible is a story of the downfall of Babylon. So if you want to follow where we at right now, you have to follow the Bible.
Right. You're right. You're right, Gemini. You are tune, baby. Tune all the way in. And look, Beyonce was on a red horse and a white horse, girl. Look at this.
Exactly.
White horse, red horse.
Mm.
Why? Iridescent horse. Like, why all the horses? Guys, one thing to notice, my mouth is going numb. My whole mouth is going numb. So I think that's a message for, are they going to try to silence us here? A lot of more. It's interesting, guys. It doesn't feel that we get the freedom that we think we're about to get. It doesn't feel that way. Does anybody else feel that way?
Oh yeah, look how she has the American flag. Look how she's wearing the American clothes. Look how on one side she's embodying Raw. On the other side though, she's embodying the underground, which is America, which is US. It's two different sides. It's two different sides. You gotta
And
like
backwards.
pay attention to that horse too. Look at the horses on each side. She's waving that American flag like it's just
Something's not right.
mm-hmm.
Something's just not right. Something's not adding up. And my mouth is going numb. This our speech feels like it's going to be under attack. Or is it poison? Because remember I was talking about food earlier for Africa. Is our food poisoned? Something why would my mouth turn numb? It's either you ate something or you get silenced.
Bill Gates bought up the farmland.
Mm,
Isn't that funny? What would Bill Gates have to do with the farmland? Famine?
famine.
Oh, not famine. Sorry.
Well,
Not famine. Oh, wait.
hey, can I read some comments? Is that okay? Hi, guys. So sorry, guys. We've been so deep into this. Going back to what Lee Max said earlier, Lenny Kravitz is 60 years old. I know, and I'm telling you, he still looks 30. It's very interesting. I think that's that werewolf energy he has. And so, is it Morgana D says, hello from Canada. Trump is doing a lot of joking about annexing Canada, and I am worried it is not a joke at all. Do you pick up on anything about Canada in your dive into North America? We're going to take a look into that. Tammy. Everybody say hi to Tammy. Tammy's in the chat. That's our girl. Hi, Tammy. Tammy said, China and Russia are in there, us too. Hold on. I got to read it first in my mind. Oh, yeah, she said China and Russia are in there too. Like I think she's talking about Africa. Do you think that African people will change things? I'm not sure. I just know there's a huge sinkhole energy there. So hopefully they will. Hi, Angel. Hi. Wow. Yeah, so this white and red horse, this is very interesting. And like she was saying, I don't feel that Trump is joking. Do you feel that Trump is joking? Like he's the energy he's given, it's not like the first time. It's given like, I want to say this. It's given like dictator vibes.
Mm.
Dictator.
This is the question though. Who is Trump?
He's the time traveler. We know Trump is the time traveler, but from what time? I don't know. But it's giving dictator. Like lately, it's given dictator vibes. That's what it's given. And you know how confirmation, guys, look. I was gonna say, do you know how they said that Trump would be the last president? Remember when Trump was president at 45, y'all? They said Trump would be the last president. You guys remember that? Why did I pick up my coconut water? Why does it say 45? Right here. 45.
And what's 4 + 5?
9. Completion. Next year, when he gets inaugurated. Jimmy, speak on it. Speak on it.
I love how you picked that up because I had picked that up earlier because I was like, oh yeah, whenever he got into office, that's when the trumpets started. Trumpets.
Yes, this is
Trump.
crazy.
He started breaking the everything. Everything is starting to crumble now, right? It started in 2020, the 4 horsemen. Think about it. Death, famine, war. It's all coming together.
Yo, this was so crazy. I literally thought it in my mind, and then I got the confirmation before I even spoke it. Like this is source is freaky fast today. That's freaky fast. Like this is giving dictator. Like I'm telling you, is what's that guy that is not China? Yeah, what's the president of China? Who's the president of China? I can't even pronounce his name, but hold on, I'll find out. This is the vibe that it's given. Hold on.
I was thinking about the North Korean dictator.
Yes, no.
I was thinking about that because guess what?
Yeah.
They were talking about how like they were talking about, okay, so I don't know, this is like, I'm gonna research it first, but they were saying that South Korea was under martial law. It seems like every country that is within the country is fighting each other, the Great Divide. the wars, the rumor of wars.
Yes, that's who it's given. That's who it's a North Korean guy. That is who Trump is giving. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that's what it's giving. Honestly, this is crazy. Oh yeah, that is definitely. I'm gonna show a picture of
I
him.
think that's why, though. I think that's why they say wars and then rumor of wars. Because if you think about it, the wars are starting within the countries, and then the rumor of wars is going to start when it comes like, oh, Russia, United States, Ukraine, Russia. Like it all adds up.
So what happens with Putin in this? Okay, I'm channeling. Power, purity, and good fortune. I'm channeling as soon as I said what happens with Putin, I literally just heard that song, If You Wanna Ride, Ride the White Horse. It's a old school song. But Jim and I just got time talking about a white horse. White horse significance in mythologies, cultures around the world, often associated with the sun chariot, with warrior heroes, with fertility. End of time savior. You hear that? With the end of time savior. So what have we been talking about the past few days? Like I've been feeling a heavy like Yeshua Jesus energy kind of here with the collective just waiting here. And literally this white horse, it literally says that it can symbolize end of time savior. So this could be also too this great divide. I believe this antichrist energy will rise, and but at the same time, the Christ energy will also rise. So there will be a way out. So this upheaval, this thing this uprooting that's going on in the heavens, and where literally people are being plucked from their positions of power and being removed. There's a lot of shaking going on, but this end of time savior is going to be here to help. That's what the white horse, one of the meanings of the white horse. Wow.
I think maybe the main point with North America is we can go in so many different directions with this. There's a lot going on with North America. Like
There's a lot.
there's a
So,
lot.
so someone says he's pissed off the Mexican president as well. I know. And I'm like, why would you even mess with Mexico? Like, like that's where I get my avocados, man. Come on. Live without my avocados. Like, sorry. I'm just saying, y'all. But there was a horse in the Olympics, also, Angel says. And someone's asking, can you guys do a show on the ship that Iran has on the East Coast, please? Okay, thank you. We'll look into that maybe another day. And also the drones over New York and New Jersey. I remember, Gemini, you kept channeling New York. I'm in Connecticut. Yeah, I'm sure you guys remember. Yes, Shar. We did her healing session earlier. Hey, Shar. Yes. So yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting, guys. I mean, it's too much to get into tonight. We'll be here all night. So I think maybe, I think that kind of is a good place to kind of stop, because to sum it up, there is a great divide. There's the rise of the Antichrist energy, and then the rise of the end time savior. So this is literally playing out like the Bible. It's playing out just like the Bible. And I'm gonna whoa, I thought I was gonna read something that Source brought my attention to. And if you guys have any remarks, you can go ahead and say it now while I'm looking for this. Let me just read this really quickly. I don't even know if this is it, but let me read it. It says, so I'm reading from page 98 in the Great Expansion. It says, I liken the silver cord to the umbilical cord that connects baby to its mother, allowing the baby to receive nourishment from its source. So I think what Source is trying to say is like this silver cord that we have that connects us to the spirit, that connects us to Source, is like an umbilical cord that connects the baby to the mother and to receive nourishment. So it goes on to say, please know something greater is on the way. All the spiritual tools and knowledge available to humanity serve as nourishment. Part of the correction from the royal cluster. This shows us there is still more growth and expansion ahead for humanity. For we are still babies being fed through tubes in an incubator, a very young creation of thought with so much potential ahead of us. And as I'm writing this transmission summary, I can get a sense of Father God, the great universal spirit, reassuring humanity that he would never leave us, for he is and will always be the great provider and protector of all. He is the great energy source from which all things become physical. Please do not think for a moment that the divine source of all would ever forsake feeble infants who are yet capable of taking care, who are not yet capable of taking care of themselves. For humanity has not had the correct nourishment for the great collective expansion to occur. He also wants me to reassure the non-chosen ones in his light and his devotion to bring about the correction of man, rebuke is necessary. It's not just for the sake of the entire cosmic sphere, but for the protection of Mother God and all of their creations. He says to me, what kind of father would I be if I did not teach my children right from wrong, if I starved them from my nourishment just because they are too, just because they were to be misbehaving just like naughty children. Even though I will withdraw my life force energy from the non-selected, I could not nor will I ever leave them. Instead, I will draw their energy back onto myself, reabsorbing it closer to my heart until the day I project them out again as a singular thought wave into physicality. This time, they will have much more cosmic data or stardust that will travel with them. I know my words will not return to me void. So that's kind of what Source wanted to say, is that there's going to be destruction. To sum up the message, there will be destruction because this is the correction that humanity has not had the proper nourishment, spiritual food for the soul, because of probably all the wars, all of the different countries and nations that invaded different countries and nations. They've never really been able to grow spiritually. And what Source is really saying is that humanity is really a young creation. And the way Source looks at us is like we're still children in an incubator. Like we have not even begun to do all the things that we're going to do. But unfortunately, there will have to be a level of destruction to bring the correction. And then Source says, I will withdraw my life force energy into the time that I project myself out again. So there will be another big bang or a great expansion. But yeah, the great divide is definitely in effect. So I guess that's my final message, and you guys can give your final messages too.
I would like to say something. Taya has sent something to me earlier that I feel like should be read. It's talking about the shift of the ages. Now I have come the second time in the likeness of a female, and have spoken with them. I shall tell them the coming end of this age, and teach them about the beginning of the age to come, the one without change, wherein our appearance will be changed. We shall be purified in those I think it says eons, from which I revealed myself in the thought of the likeness of my masculinity. I settle among those who are worthy in the thought of my changeless eon. The second mystery, the impending overthrow of the cosmic powers. For I shall tell you a mystery of this age and tell you about the forces in it. Birth beckons birth. Hour gives birth to hour. Day gives birth to day. Month inform the month. Time goes around following time. This age was completed in this fashion, and it turned out to be short, as a finger releases a finger and a joint separate from a joint. When the great authorities knew that the time of fulfillment had appeared, just as the time of birth pains came, so also the time of destruction approached. All the elements trembled, and the foundation of the underworld and the ceilings of chaos shook, and the great fire shone in their midst.
Wow. That's powerful. That's it's kind of like
The mother of ages.
the same sort of theme going on. Yeah. This is crazy. Oh my God, this is really
The
crazy.
fire shone, the underground crumbles, the chaos reigns. Yeah. The likeness of a female.
This is hey, where did you find this at?
Ask Miss Taya.
Oh my gosh,
you're the one that found it, and I feel like it should have been. It
you know, it
shared.
just came, as you would say, across my spiritual desk. It just kind of dropped into my lap today, and I was like, "Oh my God, this!"
Oh
I just felt it.
guys.
I felt it.
Okay.
I felt
Awesome.
it. But I'm gonna send it in the chat.
Okay, thank you, my dear. That's amazing. Let's do a quick little few minute healing for North America. This is heavy. There's a lot of destruction, uprooting, unearthing, underground on fire, shaking, shake, rattle, and roll. I don't know. And you guys in the chat, please, at home, please, guys, hold this. This is the 1212 portal. Today's the Exodus. Okay, today is the Exodus and also the execution, right? So as you guys are like working on the energy, I'm going to channel these final messages from source, and everyone under the sound of our voice, let's hold the energy in the collective heart space. We need to bring back the unity in America. But what did I say before? The reason why Trump also, too, the collective council chose him is because there's an aspect of the code of creation that we need to see again here in America. We need to really look at the racism and this dictator template and all of these old things. He's given us an opportunity to look at that again. And so we can choose to go another way. But this is the great divide. But just as we were channeling, the end time savior is here. There is an end time savior, guys. And you will know this in your heart space. The end time savior, this is the Christ, guys. It's the Christ energy. He's been popping up in all of my sessions. The one that people call Jesus, Yeshua. It's a gateway to portal you through this Exodus portal. This is for the Exodus, the ones of us going to higher consciousness, and it's also a execution, the ones that are getting removed. They're getting plucked from the tree of life. They're getting uprooted from the heavens. Muramborkapa, muramboronka, biramboroto karashamboroto. Divine protection, source. Put divine protection over our houses and over our families' houses here. There is a great rumble going on under the ground here in North America, specifically America, United States, rather. It's like there's a pulse, and it feels like a pressure cooker, something just waiting to explode, to completely explode. But there is a savior in anyone wanting to exit the portal. You have to choose in this moment, guys, light or dark. There is no in between. There's no gray, guys. If there's a gray area, then you literally get a gray attachment because there cannot be any confusion in this moment. You either want the light and you're willing to do and sacrifice for that, or you fall into the category of darkness. We all can exit the portal right now. And so in your quiet spaces, just commune with there is a savior, there is a higher knowing, there is a higher source that will gladly portal you through, out and through.
I want to say to everyone that is watching, I felt your hearts like in it and wanting and your prayers. It was so beautiful.
Thank you. Our hearts will be changed because of this. There will be a lot of tribulation, but it's like redirecting our heart because our hearts have been turned around away from each other. We've lost sight on what's important. We've been so materialistic in this nation. This nation is so materialistic.
We had lost the godlike power, but now we're reclaiming it.
Yeah. Oh my God, the heart of America is just like I just have it right here. The heart of this nation is here. And there's a lot of good here too, guys. Not all bad. There's a lot of good here. A lot of love. A lot of love. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you.